Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's the healthy, happy edition of Guys of a Certain Age. Robbie Koblitz in studio alongside
Art Shirley.
And Jay Reed.
A grinning Jay Reed, I might add.
Well, I was wondering who was healthy and who was happy.
Well, I don't know, because I'm neither.
And who's at the corner of it?
I'm Captain Grumpy today. So
He's putting
you stole my regrettable.
seriously?
No.
I thought he was serious too.
Wow.
I thought, wow. Oh
That
my
would
gosh.
we should make up our own
Captain
regrettables.
Grumpy.
Oh, yeah, when the book runs out, we'll make them
We'll
up.
just make up our own regrettables, right? So
Could be
other than
now.
ourselves.
That's actually not a bad idea. I like that.
Not that anybody's going to hold us,
That's right.
who's going to check us. So let's see. What did, hey, I've got some.
Have we acknowledged on the show that we're in our 7th year?
Are we in our
think so.
7th year? Is this our 7th
That's
year?
what I was having a problem with. We were in
Yeah,
our
you
7th year. We've begun our 7 years. We've done it for 6.
Right.
Yeah.
So so a week ago was our anniversary.
Yeah. So Jay was worried that we'd done a whole year without him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
By the way, cousin Jerry thinks we should get the Playboy bunny on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure cousin Mervin does too. So
It's easy for Cousin Jerry to say.
yeah, because he's in Arizona, far away. So anyway, all right, let's jump into whatever we got for geeks. I don't know who I am or where I'm at. I might have to come up with one as somebody talks. Who's going first?
We're talking about, we're all doing a combined
I
geek
think we're
on the
doing the combined
Fantastic
geek.
Four
Oh, are
trailer.
we?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Fantastic Four trailer came out.
Well, I had one
Well,
about
then help me
Stranger.
You got one.
cover
We can
this
do
if
it.
you need.
You want to do yours first, and then we'll do the.
Do you ever wonder if Robbie reads the messages?
Oh no, I know he
to each other?
doesn't. I know he doesn't.
This has been-
He reads the last one.
It's been a bad 18 hours. I'm just going to say I had a falsified charge on my Apple card, which means I had to contact Apple, which means I had to reset my Apple ID,
Yeah.
which means I had to disconnect and reconnect iMessage
Machine
through
you've
Apple
got.
machine.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
know.
why you're sitting there going, this is that password could be compromised. Do I really want to update everything?
Yeah, well.
Do you need to? You need to, listeners.
Yes, you do.
Make
You
sure
do.
you're practicing.
Hey, Jay, were you on the
Digital
Apple
security.
Store about 3:30 this morning, by the way?
Negative.
Okay, I just want to know who placed a charge on the Apple Store this morning.
Oh, 3:30?
Yeah.
I was just getting in from my trip, so.
It was probably ours.
Was it something about a rodeo?
Not a rodeo. It was
The rodeo did start last night,
Yeah.
Dixie National, but we were at the Dixie National Sale of Junior Champions.
Oh.
which my wife has covered for 20 odd years.
okay.
So back in the day, they would have to feverishly write down cut lines and re-edit and do all this stuff, and it was I've heard about it for years.
Yeah, that's what they did last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what got home about midnight.
My geek of the week was just going to be that Stranger Things is actually going to be happening. Season, was it 5? Is going to drop sometime towards
Is it
the end
only
of this
season
year.
5?
Yeah.
Wow.
Only season 5.
The kids are in their 40s.
Yeah, they really are. So it's been was it 2022 when it was 2023 when season 4 dropped.
Okay.
Yeah. Unlike Severance, where there's been 3 years
I
between.
know. It's just crazy.
Are you caught up on Severance?
No, we haven't watched. Well, I guess we haven't watched today's episode yet. Here's what
I
happened.
haven't watched it
Yeah.
either. So,
Yeah.
but apparently they're in parkas or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Chasing
that's what I saw last night.
Goats.
Parkas. Yeah.
Okay.
And goats. Oh, my.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know. You're talking crazy stuff.
I
Fucking crazy stuff. He's crazy. Oh,
watched
yeah. I think
Did I just spoil something?
The Rock was in it, and
J.K. Simmons.
yeah, J.K. Simmons was in it. Yeah, I
That's
saw
right.
it. Oh, yeah, I saw it.
It's
Absolutely.
Code Severance.
Yeah,
That's why they've
that's
changed
right.
the name to Code Severance. Yeah, it's Memories of Future Past. Anyway,
I watched more than I intended to, but I'm almost caught up
to season 2. Are you in season 2?
to
Yeah.
the current season. Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Melissa fell asleep early last night. So I'm like,
You watched a lot.
I'm rewatching The Expanse before seasons 1, 2, and 3 leave Amazon Prime. Oh man, it is so good. You would have loved it.
I know. Too late
Yeah.
now, I guess.
Well, you could jump into it pretty quick, but it's some of the best sci-fi on TV in a long, long time.
Yeah, I watched an episode of it and enjoyed it, and then just never went back to it for some reason.
So that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So. Fantastic Four trailer, which is going to be our shared geek of the week. So I will ask the non-Fantastic Four guy. So that would be
you, Jay.
I'm somehow not fantastic.
Well, I didn't say that. You're just not Fantastic to Four. What did you think about the trailer?
It looked fun. It looked quirky, but also, and I've kind of watched a breakdown of the trailer, so I got a little bit extra info that I
thought
wouldn't
you were
have
going to
noticed.
fess up to watching. I watched a fake trailer.
Yeah, well, I did that too. But no, I think it looks a lot of fun, but I think we're probably going to get a lot deeper. Darker may not be the right word, but there's going to be some, deep meaning in it as well. And maybe some rough stuff, maybe some things that like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
So as someone who probably has,
but I'm looking forward to it very much.
Yeah, I was going to say, has it piqued your interest in Marvel?
Oh, well, I mean, I've been
Higher
watching
than it
them.
was.
I mean, I've watched all the Fantastic Fours up till now. I'm not up on the comics like y'all would be. But
I'm not up on the comics.
As far as the movies are concerned, I've watched them all. I've watched every. When they first came out is when I was probably most interested in superhero stuff, and I still am. But
so when the Marvel Cinematic Universe happened, Marvel did not have rights to the Fantastic Four.
Right.
So
Sony
Marvel
had those, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, Fox.
Was it Fox?
It was Fox.
Okay.
That's why they're back.
Okay.
And so Marvel Comics killed the Fantastic Four comic book because they didn't. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to give Fox any. We're not trying to give them any love. They won't let us use their stuff. Then Disney ended up buying Fox and brought it back into the fold. So
okay.
Art, before we get into a breakdown, what was your initial thoughts?
Really liked it. Very excited for it. I love the look of it. Love the retro feel to it. I think they're smart to do it back in the 60s, which is what we're seeing now. As we'll get into it, it's an alternate universe version of the thing, so that's why they be in the 60s still. But the look of it was good. And, like I said, I thought they got one thing that was important to me that we haven't seen yet is a comic book accurate thing.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The thing looked amazing.
Looked great. We've talked some, off mic, and I see that it's a big thing. The voice of it is not what a lot of people think the thing's voice should be, but I'm willing to watch it and see how it goes. I bet he's going to be everybody is saying he's going to be the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be really good. A lot of fun Easter eggs for people. We'll talk about that more in detail. But yeah, initial action I was very, very excited for it.
How do you pronounce the actor Ben Moss Ebach?
I don't know.
He's made his name with the bear, and him interacting with Herbie with the red sauce was great. All that was missing for me was to say, "Now, cousin, we just need to add this." So it was a nice fun poke at. The thing that got me about the thing is it got his brow and his eyes right.
Yeah, and his upper lip. I've never, I've seen ones that. Seen them before, and it's always the brow that's messed up to me.
Yeah,
they'll do some that look okay, but when you compare, like they had Michael Chiklis's thing from, which Michael Chiklis was a really good actor to play the thing, but the suit was such a disservice to the character,
a disaster to the character. Yeah. So I'm gonna see if I've got.
Yeah, they made a big deal about his eyes and him, being able of Ben's. Art or what do you say, Ben Moss? His eyes kind of shining through, and blinking and everything, and how bad it was missing from previous things.
Ebon Moss Bachrach, Ebon, Ebon.
Okay.
Moss MOSS hyphen BACHRACH.
Okay.
But I think this is going to. I know he's big on the bear and all that, but I think this is really going to kind of be his launching vehicle, because I think he's going to be the real heart of this. And I like the fact that there are scenes we've seen even from the trailer where they'll be showing him in his human form. Mm-hmm. So I think they'll show some of that.
Yeah, best looking pilot.
Yeah.
Best looking pilot. So, couple other things. What did you think about the way Johnny Storm looked with the flame on?
I thought that looked good. I didn't have a problem with that at all. What about you?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. His has probably been the easiest of the characters to animate because, from a 3D particle motion standpoint.
Yeah.
Flame.
I mean,
it's
even
difficult, but not
even back when Chris Evans was playing the part. Gosh, Ryan Reynolds.
Chris Pine.
Evans was playing the part.
He was Captain Storm.
Yeah, he was probably the best character of all those in terms of how they got both personality and the effects right.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is they did not show
Mr. Fantastic
doing anything fantastic.
Pedro Pascal.
And I don't know if that means, some people have said, is he even going to have powers? I think he will definitely have powers. I mean, but are they effects just still so hard to do? Because that's the hardest one to get right.
Yeah, it is.
Although, even though they've never gotten the thing right, that's still a hard thing to do. Stretching power, for those that don't know what his power is.
I was going to say it's stretching the animation team.
Yeah,
so I'm going through the trailer right now. So doors open, the elevator opens up. Welcome to the Baxter Building. Why is the Baxter Building named the Baxter Building?
I'm not sure. I don't remember that, but it's always been the Baxter Building. As if it were. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's a benefactor or something that's mentioned, and I've read like the first 2 years of the Fantastic Four, but it's been a while.
But there's the Future Foundation, which is like almost a cabal of Marvel superheroes, right?
Yeah.
Because
but I mean, those are later later things. So the Baxter Building, that's what the Fantastic Four headquarters were called. And does this become Stark headquarters at later years? Is it the same building? Does it become Avengers?
I don't think
Tower?
so.
I don't think so.
Same, different building.
Okay.
Yeah, different universe.
Yeah, no, but I'm just wondering if is it supposed to be in this universe kind of representative of the same tall, building or whatever.
So the doors open. They walk into the living quarters at the top of the Baxter Building.
Yeah,
looks very George Jetson-ish.
Yeah,
to me, And they make the big deal about we have family supper here every Sunday night at 7 on the dot, and you've got Sue Storm, and she looks very 60-ish at that point. Pedro Pascal looks like he should be in Mad Men.
Yeah,
and it does have a very Mad Men vibe to it. So then we get to Herbie. What'd you think about Herbie?
If he were replacing one of the characters as he did in the cartoon, he had to replace Johnny Storm
because of rights issues,
Human Torch rights issues. I would not like it. But having that nod to, because he first appeared in the animated series and they've brought him into the comics afterwards. Yeah. But having that, and of course he looks great. I mean, it looks just like the cartoon stuff. So I think that'll be a nice touch.
So I'm looking at a freeze frame here with the Thing and Herbie, and there is a orangish phone on the wall, just like we grew up with. You guys see that?
Yeah.
So that.
Yeah, their attention to detail on things is really good. The cars, there's not. Everything has even the Fantastic car, I guess, which is what's going to become the flying car. Looks like something from the 60s.
Oh, it does.
It's not like they said, okay, this is going to look like something from modern day and stand out. No, they made it the sensibilities.
And of course, there's a lot of ads in the street scenes. A lot of
ads,
things like that from that time.
Yeah.
So the thing where the scene where the Thing is tasting the sauce, just the animation on the face is
think it looks good. People have complained about that, but a lot of people don't realize what the thing should look like.
I cannot get over how good that looks.
And people are saying, oh, they've got him in a uniform, and he always hated wearing the uniform, but he wore the uniform, and I think it makes more sense for him to wear it than
Plus
not.
It covers up.
Plus, it's an easier easier fix. But I thought it looked, and the uniforms are very basic. Compared to they were talking about compared to what John Krasinski was wearing. Yeah. In the Doctor Strange movie, and what we've seen, and they should be. I mean, the first ones were very much. I mean, they were much more like almost like coveralls as opposed to. I mean, in fact, probably fit more like James Gunn's Superman suit fits as compared to the latex or spandex or whatever that we're seeing now.
So I've got pulled up here. I'm showing the guys the freeze on the astronauts. This is the pre-cosmic event.
Yeah,
and how 60s.
I mean, that
NASA.
looks like something straight from the Mercury missions or the Apollo mission.
And Art just threw his headphones off in disgust. or maybe in celebration.
The
I didn't even hear your
director,
other
is
one.
it Shackman? Is that his name?
I don't know.
The director, I think he's made them watch. I read that or heard that he made them watch Apollo 11 documentary or Apollo 13, one of the Apollo movies,
Do you need help there, Art?
to help them get acclimated to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you see where the trailer debuted at 7 a.m. Our time? No, 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Eastern, and then they were on Good Morning America with the cast doing a Q&A, showed the trailer, and the cast, they were located at Huntsville. They were at the Space
I didn't
and
see
Rocket
that.
Center.
Yeah.
So, and it was really, really kind of cool.
But
So-
the film grain, everything has that look of
It
something
does.
that's been shot.
It does.
That stuff.
So Marvel
Division.
Marvel 1, which is the rocket ship they go up in, is pretty comic accurate.
Yes, and I'm glad they kept that comic accurate as opposed to tying it into something that looked more like Apollo. I think that was a good way to go ahead and let's make this look like the comic book instead of what rockets were actually going up at that time.
The the whole invisible woman disappearing in and out and up in space is really, really cool. We're kind of going through this scene by scene, and then we get to one of the scenes I love the most. You've got Ben Grimm, the Thing, walking down the street in his overcoat and hat, kind of incognito.
And that's pulled right out of the comic book.
That is
right
straight
there.
out of the comic book right there.
Yeah.
Almost a Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner on the TV show.
Yeah.
Walking down.
Yeah. That's the
the
Hulk thing.
It's called. I think it's called Lonely Man. Is the name of that?
That's
so,
right.
Anyway,
And I don't know what the significance is, but the guy watched the breakdown. If you notice in the corner there, that scene, there's a jack-o'-lantern, and then there's another scene where Johnny does his flame on, and you can see pumpkins on the table. So there's a Halloween something going on, whether it's significant or not, I don't know. But there is a comes up several times.
And you see kids in Thing costumes
Right.
too.
Yeah, so it's taking place, I guess, around Halloween. So that's okay.
So we've got the little flashback with them up in as they're about to go up in space. And, Reed Richards bemoaning the fact, before we went up, we were normal.
Yeah.
Ben's now a rock, you're invisible, and Johnny flames on. And then the whole litany of, well, Ben's always been a rock, Johnny's Johnny, and I'll always be here. It was a really nice little touch and homage to it as the family.
Yeah.
And
I really thought that they were going to play off the fact that so often Reed does not see Sue Storm, because I thought she goes, and I've always been invisible to you, because he's always so obsessed with his work, that a lot of times he doesn't. But I thought that was a great quick way to kind of give us who these people are.
I love Johnny in his astronaut uniform, upside down, playing like the ham that he is.
I mean, because Johnny, like Peter Parker, was also a high school teenager.
Yeah.
So
okay.
He was a big hot rod guy. Loved cars.
Yeah.
And, so he's very much James Dean-esque Rebel Without a Cause type character, so I think that playing him younger than he probably has been so far was a good idea.
Exactly. I love Sue Storm's force powers.
Yeah, they look good.
Which, I mean, did she always have those, or did those come later?
I think those came later.
Okay.
I remember all she was able to do. I think that was something that they felt like she had to have more of an active power as opposed to a passive power.
Yeah.
So I think that came later. Pretty sure that came later.
But I like that, and I like the comic accurate uniforms.
And if you look back at the comics, these are from the '60s and all of them, and she's very much, kind of a secondary character to the male characters.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, Sue can go make us coffee kind of thing. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but and that changed. That very much changed later, and she stepped out and became in a lot of ways the leader of the Fantastic Four at times. So that was good.
Johnny Storm going into the upper atmosphere, his flame extinguishing because there's no oxygen, and he just kind of it's almost an E.T. fly across the moon moment, which is really, really great. So And then, I mean, Jay, if you see anything here as I go through trailer by trailer, I mean, frame by frame.
That's what I was doing, going trailer by trailer.
Trailer by trailer. You go by trailers that we haven't even seen yet, that Jay's seen in the theater of his mind. So the speculation is that this Earth is going to be destroyed.
By Galactus?
By Galactus. This universe is going to be consumed by Galactus, and the Fantastic Four are able to escape into ours. That's the theory I've seen. You know, you see it's obviously the next scene in the trailer, about 110 or so. They're the group's on their balcony, and they see this explosion over New York, which is kind of the heralding of Galacticus. So you've got to think that is going to be. That's going to be the Silver Surfer coming in as the herald.
So, he comes in before Galactus, or she in this case.
Yeah. And then Galactus shows up. So here's the next scene is the Halloween costumes, which I think it's great that Ben has his own mask and everybody seems to love the thing. So, and then the Fantastic car, which looks fantastic.
Yeah, I love that.
Of course, in the comic,
three-wheeler, or
I think
looks like a three-wheeler.
But in the
like a back wheel is just
But in the comics, it flies with like 3 pods that break off from the main.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So this is not as comic book accurate as some of the, because that's from the beginning, right? As soon as they had, and all this stuff is Jack Kirby's design, so it's very, very intricately machined. And the Fantastic car had, because you had, I don't think there should have been a 4th pod, but maybe Johnny was flying on his own.
I think it was
just not. So you
just
had
3
Sue, Reed, and Ben all in their own pod that could break apart and they could go. But it's open air. I mean, it was just it was like
it could come together almost like Voltron. Very, very anime. So I'm going to be curious to see what they do there. The flying scenes of Johnny look great. The way they're following him through. I love Ben. I love Ben's running. The way they've got his motion as he's running through the streets. Obviously, after there's something destructo that's happened. And then we get to John Malkovich.
Yeah, that was cool. What have you heard about him as far as speculation?
I thought he was Franklin, who is the son of Reed and Sue. There's a lot of time back and forth between there. So Franklin, Franklin. I don't know if that's it, dude. I've seen some people think the same thing. I think he's like somebody from the future who is coming to warn them about what's going to happen.
I've seen speculation he could be a modernized, updated version of Mole Man.
Oh, really? Okay.
Who was the first
villain?
First villain in Fantastic Four.
And I saw something about he might be the Red Ghost, which I don't know anything about.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
But I don't know who the Red Ghost is either.
Had an army of primates.
It just seems like, for me, there's something I remember about them having future versions come back. And I know they did with Doom. Had future, Kang was like a future version of Dr. Doom at one point, and a past version too. He'd also, been from the time of Egypt. So the Egyptian pharaohs and stuff.
Well, the breakdown that I watched says something about the Watcher might be involved, and that this might be the Red Ghost, and it might be, and also he had a lot to say about Reed and Susan's son having some sort of unique power that Galactus might be after in order to do whatever he was going to do next.
So in the comic books, Franklin Reed is like one of the most powerful creatures in the Marvel universe, if not the most powerful.
Richards?
Yeah.
Richards. Yeah, Reed Richards. Franklin Richards. Is one of the
Franklin Reed is me. That's my middle name.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're not one of the most powerful people in the room.
That's pretty wild, though.
Sorry,
much less.
I haven't revealed all that. My complete self.
We don't want you to reveal anything more.
Fantastic 3.
So for the Playboy episode.
Mrs. Reed, please note that was your son.
That was your flesh and blood.
Moving on.
Art and I had nothing to do with that. Anyway, he did tell us Magic Mike was his favorite movie. So.
Nope.
Nope. Missed that episode.
So did I.
It must have been the year we were recording.
Yeah, that's right. That's the lost
year.
Yeah. So, what did you think about the back of Galacticus's head?
Oh, I just loved it. That was absolutely comic book. That's one of the biggest complaints about the movies back from 2005, 2007, was that Galactus was, just a cloud. And
that's right.
Oh, you can't portray him comic book accurately because nobody will buy it. Like you bought a cloud instead.
Yeah.
No, it looks great. I think that's great. I mean, he's to me, he's like the ultimate big bad.
Yeah, more so than Thanos.
I think so. Yeah.
Was he an Eternal?
I can't remember.
Not Eternal, Celestial.
Maybe he was. I'm not sure. I don't remember that. But
or if he's coming to get his body's, his buddy's dead body in the well, that would be our universe. Yeah. So, anyway, Galacticus looks really, really cool. I've seen folks complain that he's much bigger than that. Well, the guy can
he changes size all the time.
Yeah. So.
I've also seen complaints y'all may have too about the Thing's size, that he should be much bigger. Well, he really wasn't much bigger. I mean, again, one of those things where they would draw him, different sizes sometime depending on who's fighting. He and the Hulk had some famous showdowns that they're hoping might happen sometime. But and the Hulk could get pretty big, but he would get bigger and stronger as he got madder.
Yeah,
but
kind of like Jay.
Yeah, that's right.
I love the final line, as I'm putting the iPod around. We'll face it as a family.
Yeah.
And to me, this trailer portrayed this as a family. And that's something that has been missing every version of the Fantastic Four we've ever seen. They're age accurate to the comic book. But that the family dynamic, I think, is just great. What did you guys think about the final little shot, very Beatle-esque of?
Yeah, see, that's what
I heard
I've seen
about that.
They've done a side-by-side comparison of it. It looks like them on the Ed Sullivan show.
On the Ed Sullivan show.
I mean, it looked like something. I didn't get that right away. And I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't. But yeah, it definitely looks like they're. So I don't know what this comes from. Are they on something like the Ed Sullivan show?
What I heard was if you tie that into the opening scene where they're touring the breakfast, the dining room or whatever, saying there's where we eat dinner every night. He was saying, this guy, I forgot what YouTube site it was, but he was saying that they are one of the first to, they don't have a secret identity. They reveal themselves, and they said the reason for that was to make Ben feel more comfortable, kind of his own skin, quote, quote.
His own rocks.
His own rocks. So they're saying that they're basically celebrities. They're not hidden, so people see them on the street. They know them. They're having to deal with the celebrity as a family, and so this is part of there probably was something akin to the Ed Sullivan show. And in the beginning was doing a tour for some sort of media thing. So his thing was it's about about having the price of fame, the cost of fame.
Right. And that's very comic book accurate from the beginning. They never an idea that they were going to be a secret super group. They were, always who they were. You'd have things where Sue was on the cover of Vogue magazine, Reed was in
Except she was invisible.
Yeah, that's right. So, hey, we could do a photo shoot. This is not going to cost us a thing. She didn't mean to be there. But, so you had that plays in very well to it. This idea that there was no secret identity to him.
What did you guys think about the music in the trailer, the score?
I thought it was good.
Fantastic Four. I wasn't expecting that.
I was not.
Well, I wasn't expecting it in the trailer. I mean, they got their own music. It's not just Marvel music.
Yeah.
It sounds so cool. Great. Yeah. I mean, the Fantastic Four is the bedrock of Marvel. They've been called the first family since forever. This is what launched Marvel, and they just have never been able to get it right.
No, they haven't. They really haven't. And it looks like this time they did. Like I said, people may have quibbles, but I think if you've read the books, if you've looked back if you have any idea, even if you've looked at Alex Ross's latest version of the Fantastic Four, this is very much in line with what they've done. So
I guess the questions for me are
regrettable. No.
this has been redeemed. It looks like
I
this.
think so. Been redeemed.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever seen the original Roger Corman one?
I've only seen pieces of it.
Yeah, the whole thing's available on YouTube. It's not great quality, but it's just fun to watch.
Is it
We
regrettable?
talked about it before, but I haven't watched it.
I'd say it's redeemable. It's actually not. Once you've heard how bad it is and you see it, I mean, it's bad, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Chris Evans era.
I liked both of those too. When they came out, I liked
They
both
weren't
of those. I mean, you have to remember too what we had at that point. So
Yeah.
it's like it wasn't bad.
And then the one with Miles Teller. Oh.
Yeah, no, that was such a departure from what we're used to.
Yeah.
I've only seen that once.
I saw it finally, and I mean, they basically, as I understand, they cut like half the third act out, which, I mean, you just lost so much.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so Robert Downey Jr. will not be in this, right? He may make an appearance or whatever, but he's basically part of the Avengers thing.
Doomsday, yeah.
Doomsday.
So nobody knows. Is he
Yeah.
going to show up here?
Yeah.
And our mutant's
I-
going to show up in this. I heard something about that too. Is this
See,
gonna
I
be an
wonder
X-Men
if
tie-in?
Well, I mean,
Well-
are they part of the ones? Is there more to the galaxy? I mean, because we haven't seen like the X-Men. Are they going to recast all the X-Men?
So that was going to be part of my geek if I needed some additional stuff. There's rumors that they are being recast
because we've talked about who they want to get to play. Folks.
Well, Sadie Sink, who is the redhead from
Stranger Things,
has been rumored to be Jean Grey.
That's what I've heard, and then we talked about some casting ideas for the Storm.
But then the lead for Baby Girl, that guy who has the affair with Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl, as Scott Summers.
Okay.
So, and I haven't seen anything for Storm.
I wonder if they're going to be part of this same universe that the Fantastic Four is coming out of. I mean, I don't think they want to steal the Fantastic Four's thunder in this movie, but if this universe is collapsing, are they part of this universe, or are they maybe another universe that collapses and they all end up, in what is our universe, I guess, or what is our Marvel universe?
So wasn't Secret Wars was announced at some point too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So are we moving to a Secret Wars type of?
That's what I keep hearing, is that this is all going to be part of whatever Secret War, and maybe all of this will be. And Secret Wars is a series.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
I thought it was the Avengers after Doomsday.
Okay, maybe that's what it is.
Because they have to clean up. So in Secret Wars, they basically
this
cleaned
will be
up
the
Marvel
beginning
continuity.
of the cleanup of the alternate universe,
the multiverse,
multiverse, cleanup, which will
clean up on aisle multiverse.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll that'll kind of come to a head in Doomsday and probably be resolved in Secret Wars, I guess.
And I'm on the multiverse thing. I realize, I keep saying I don't like it, but I'm gonna have to embrace it. But apparently, there was a clip shown at Comic-Con where Reed Richards is standing there in his lab coat and goggles, and he's talking to kids, I think, in his school about alternate universes and the reality, the so-called proof, that they're out there and all that kind of thing. So that we didn't see that in the trailer, but that was a Comic-Con deal that came out.
Well, it's gone from being a novelty or a neat, new idea to being kind of the gimmick they use to put whoever they want to in a suit. Yeah. So I think they've kind of. That's overstated its welcome.
I'm going to have to get over it, I guess.
Well, no, I mean, I think we all kind of are, feel the same way. It's sometimes it's too easy and out. It's fun when you're watching Deadpool and Wolverine and you get to see all the different Wolverines. And it was fun in the Doctor Strange movie where we saw, the Illuminati. But I think it's going to be too confusing for, most audiences, the lay people.
The non-guys of a certain age.
Well,
and Jay.
Yeah. So I think they're going to have to kind of get it fixed. I don't think I think the RDJ being cast as Dr. Doom is a neat idea. I don't think that should last. I think it should be kind of a bridge to get us to the thing, because they're going to have.
And Chris Evans swears he's not involved.
Well, he says Captain America is retired.
Yeah.
So is Captain Hydra retired?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Hell Hydra.
Yeah, that's right.
So, all right, we have gone way long in this first segment, so I think we're just going to wrap the show. No break, no Grammys. We'll have to talk about your dad's comment next time around.
Fine.
We can talk about Kanye's comments as well. Oh, maybe not. All right, we'll see you guys next time around.